What's going on, guys? I actually had a user submitted question here, and they said, Brian, if you had to do it all over again and you're upgrading from a utility trailer to an enclosed trailer, what do you think would be the best size if you had to do it all over again? You know what? That's a really good question. Let's talk about enclosed trailers, and let's cover that question right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brian here with Brian's Lawn Maintenance. If you guys are new to the channel and you don't know, my channel is all about helping you guys grow a more successful lawn care landscaping business so you guys can go out there and crush it. And today, we're gonna be talking about enclosed trailers. You know, specifically speaking, I wanted to talk to you guys about the different sizes of enclosed trailers. Now, of course, we can always do the age-old video, open versus enclosed, and I'm sure we'll do another one like that later on this fall. But for the meantime, a lot of you guys are starting to invest in enclosed trailers after seeing mine, and a lot of you guys having larger businesses after the last year or two, businesses booming, and you guys want to reinvest. Well, where do you go from there? If you have a utility trailer or an open trailer and you want to go to an enclosed trailer, well, there's a whole can of worms that we're going to go over right now, and I want to talk to you guys specifically about why the size of the trailer matters, and maybe just show you guys some pitfalls, give you some tips and ideas, and later on as we wrap up this video, some things to think about that can be very costly if you don't think this thing through. Now, if you guys haven't seen it before, this is my enclosed trailer. This is a SureTrack brand trailer. No, we're not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form, but I just wanted to share this with you guys for a couple quick seconds. Now, as you guys can see, this trailer is 8.5 feet wide by 16 feet deep. Now, when it comes to enclosed trailers, the most popular sizes are 6.5 by 10, 6.5 by 12, 7 by 14, and generally speaking, you got your 8 or 8.5s by 16 or 20, 22, 24 foot. So your 6 bys, your 7 bys, and then your 8 bys. Now, again, what size trailer you go with is really gonna be determined by how much equipment and what you plan to do with that trailer and what you're gonna be putting inside. All right, so let's get into the meat of the video because I really wanna help you guys out with this. I remember like it was yesterday picking up my enclosed trailer. In fact, it was only like 14, 15 months ago. So I remember the huge nightmare headache because there wasn't really that many good videos out there for me to help make my decision. Well, here we go. Let's put it down into 3 simple categories for you guys. When you're picking out a new enclosed trailer, you wanna talk about your budget, what you're gonna use it for, and then number 3, future growth. So let's talk about budget number 1 because that's kind of a no-brainer. You're gonna get a lot of these enclosed trailers. They're gonna be between the $3,000 and $5,000 range. Great trailers, nothing wrong with that. The secondary category, you're gonna have between the $5,000 to $9,000 category, right? And then you're gonna have your specific, your more premium built trailers for anywhere over 8, 9, 10, or you can even go $12,000 to $14,000 for some of the higher end premium trailers. Now again, when it comes to enclosed trailers and talking about budget, here's a rule of thumb I'd give you guys. Add an extra 10% into that budget. That way you can be prepared if you wanna have an upgraded brake controller, you wanna get trailer signage, maybe pick up a spare tire, and that way you're not trying to figure out money after you've already spent it all. Now, of course, it's gonna go without saying that the bigger trailer you buy, the more expensive it's gonna be. But let's talk about our second point, which was, what are we gonna be putting inside? Now, let me show you guys a quick little tour of my trailer, and maybe this can kind of get the wheels turning for you if you decide to go with an enclosed trailer, so you know what's gonna fit in a trailer like this, and you don't get caught, again, blindsided. Now, this is my enclosed trailer. As you guys can see, we have a couple backpack blower racks on the wall. We have a couple trimmer racks here on the wall. We have 2 mowers in here right now. Now, normally we only one run, but we have a great little demo going on with Gravely. Whole nother point, whole nother topic. We're gonna be installing another enclosed trailer trimmer rack holder underneath our workbench for all of our combi tools. We have our cabinet systems up here. We have our gas cans on the wall. And you know what, that's just a very typical lawn care landscape trailer setup. Now here's what I would say, we're talking about what are you gonna put in the trailer, right? It all depends. Everybody's business is different. You might be able to get away with a 6.5 by 10 or 6.5 by 12 enclosed trailer and put 1 0 turn in there, or you might be able to put one stand on a 52-inch lawnmower, right? Maybe you have a 7 by 14 foot trailer. You might be able to fit 2 lawnmowers in there, maybe a rider and a stand on, maybe a rider and an aerator, something like that. So that's why you might want to go a little bit larger route with a 7 by 14 trailer. For me personally, the reason I went with an 8.5 by 16 was 2 main reasons. Number 1, the 8.5 by 16 was large enough to have 2 0 turn type units in there. Whether it was 2 0 turns, a rider with a stand on, or my rider with my stand on aerator, there was plenty of space. But the reason I went with an 8.5 by 16 specifically was I wanted a much wider trailer. Let me show you guys how much space we have in here. As you can see, I can dismount the mower pretty much on both sides. I know it's kind of tight in here, but we normally have a walking lane. Again, we just got done cutting grass, so we're running hot, everything's on the floor. Normally we have them in the racks, as you guys would imagine. But when I get off the lawnmower, I wanted to make sure I had a lane here, and you just don't get that with a 6-footer or a 7-foot trailer compared to an 8 or an 8.5 option. Again, maybe I'm on the zero turn and the guys are coming in the trailer. At least they have a lane here to grab the hand tools, and that way they can go out and mow, and they don't have to worry about me getting out of the trailer with the lawnmower first before they have any room to come on inside. Now, I know every lawn care landscaping business trailer and setup is different. In fact, a lot of guys love making review videos for those in the spring. In fact, I'll leave a couple cards and maybe one of the little end screens here at the end of this video so you guys can check out my 2017 and my 2018 setup. But here's what I'm going to ask you guys. Before we get into a couple more points I want to make, what is your guys' ideal setup for a trailer? If you guys are running an enclosed trailer, have you guys initially started with the 6x10s and just realized that you grew out of it too fast? What about the 7x14s? That's my big question mark. Can you actually run 2 zero turns in a trailer that size, or do you need to have a 7x16 or an 8.5x16? That's the big question. I think a lot of folks are kind of in that middle ground with that 7x14 trailer. The problem for me personally is that I didn't want to be squished into that trailer. Once you have the trailer racks or the blower racks, pick your brand, it doesn't really matter to me, but once they're installed on the walls in those 7-footers, I feel like it's just squished and you don't really have a lot of working room, and you can't really exit the rear of the trailer. You have to go out that side door, and sometimes you just don't have access when you're parking your trailer. So that was my big question for you guys in this video, and leave a comment down below and maybe we can help each other out. 6.5x10, 7x14, or are you guys a bigger fan of the 8.5x16s, the 8.5x20s? Now, why would you need a trailer over 16 foot? Well, you might be putting 2 or 3 units in there. Maybe you have a larger crew, maybe you have a super duty vehicle where you have 4 or 5 guys running, doing commercial properties, apartment buildings, complexes, stuff like that, hospital systems, and you're taking 4 or 5 guys with you, 2 or 3 mowers, 0 turns, and you're doing the whole deal. That's where I can see you having the much larger trailer. But again, for the owner operator, you're probably going to be in that smaller category of the 7x14 or the 8.5x16 or 20 footers. So that's pretty much my question for you guys. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment down below. That's something that I personally wanted to know on this video. All right, so we've talked about budget. We've talked about what are you actually putting inside the trailer. The last point that I'd like to make for you guys is thinking about future growth. Now, there's a lot of you guys I really want to say thank you to, because this is a two-way street. You guys know that I love doing these videos to help you guys out, learning and growing together. That's what my channel is all about. And man, I asked so many of you guys questions, and so many of you weighed in when I was picking out the enclosed trailer that I landed on. And one thing that a lot of you guys had encouraged me to do was think about future growth. And what does that mean? Well, if you have 1 lawnmower now, maybe you're gonna have 2 and a couple guys working for you. So if you start with a 6x10, maybe that's the first enclosed trailer you buy, you might find out that you are quickly outgrowing that and you want to go with a 7x14. Well, you're going to lose a lot of money, as we both know, if you have to trade in that piece of equipment, the time, the headaches, you're never going to get what you really want for it, etc., etc. So here's one thing I would give you guys some piece of encouragement on, and same thing whether it's enclosed trailers or utility trailers, think about the next size up. Let me give you an example. If you're looking at utility trailers that are 6x10 or 6x12, think about going with a 7x14. You'll probably grow into it within a season or 2. Same thing with enclosed trailers. Maybe you're going from a utility trailer to an enclosed trailer. Well, don't just get the same size. If you're going from a 6x10 utility trailer and you're gonna go to a 6x10 enclosed trailer, here's what I would encourage you to do. Evaluate that 7x14. You know, if you're going to grow into it, you might want to just evaluate the next size up. I bet you the price point difference is nothing more than an extra $1,000 plus or minus, but you know what? You're going to save yourself money long term by just buying that heavier duty, bigger piece of equipment than you would if you just bought the smaller unit and you outgrow it before you know it. Now, let me give you guys a couple quick thoughts. That way, if you're trying to decide on what size enclosed trailer, you have these rattling around in the back of your mind when you're ready to invest. Number 1, think about upgrading to the optional taller roof. Some trailers you can add another 6 inches to 12 inches on that roof. Now, yes, you're going to pay for it, but for some of you taller guys, that might be a really good investment. I'm not sure how tall this trailer is, maybe 6'2", 6'4", something like that. But you know what? The last thing you want to do is be getting off your lawnmower or walking into the trailer, clipping your head, having a gnarly headache. You know what? Drop the extra $400 or $500, and that way you're not banging your head. I'm promising you, you'll thank yourself later. Number 2, the next optional upgrade I would suggest to you guys, think about the heavier duty axles if you're going to be getting a larger enclosed trailer. Now again, when you have a 6x10 or a 7x14, you might have some really simple axles, and they're, you know what, honestly, they might not be the heaviest of duty. Now, when you're putting lawn care landscaping equipment in there, like lawnmowers and zero turn sprayers, stuff like that, you want to have those heavier duty, beefier axles. I believe the trailer I'm in right now has two 3,500 pound axles, and you know what? I don't see any of the axles or the wheels bowing, sagging, or anything like that. Now, not every trailer comes with those standards, so if you can upgrade those for a couple extra $100, it might be worth the investment. Which leads into number 3, upgraded rims and tires. Again, I know we all come with the you know, Alcoa looking, you know, flat matte gray or black or silver rim that's just kind of, you know, a nice rim, but it doesn't really have any curb appeal. And you know what, if you're not shopping for that, you're lying about other things as well. Okay, you want to have the trailer look nice. There's nothing worse than having a beautiful white trailer, black trailer, red trailer, pick your color, and then having some really gnarly rims. You know, for an extra $200-300, upgrade to the aluminum rims. Maybe you have some nice stainless steel options out there, or like a chrome finish, something like that, some gunmetal grays. That will go a long way with curb appeal. And you know what, typically speaking, it's going to be cheaper to invest in those at the beginning than to go into a custom rim shop and trying to upgrade those later on. Now, I could give you guys a lot more bullet points, but I think we're going to save that for the open versus enclosed trailer. A lot of you guys have been asking me to weigh in, like, how do I like my experience with the enclosed trailer over the last 12 to 14 months, and quite honestly, it has been a game changer for my personal business. But here's the last thing I wanted to give you guys a closing thought was, when you have your enclosed trailer, check this out. Make sure you guys think about how long the trailer is. Now, I guess this goes with a utility trailer as well, but make sure you figure out how long your whole rig is. What I've personally noticed is that anything over about 16 feet plus your truck is going to be kind of at that max that you can fit into residential subdivisions. Now, if you don't deal with subdivisions, I feel like you won't have an issue with this if you're parking on roads or rural parts of the highway. But if you're in downtown urban, you know, cities, or you're in subdivisions, if you get that 24-foot trailer with your, you know, F-250 extended long bed truck, gosh, I don't even know how long that whole rig would be. That'd be 40-some feet long. Now, it sounds good on paper until you can't fit in between the driveways of the subdivisions you're at. So I wanted to go with a 20-foot trailer, but I, A, didn't really need the extra space, and B, wanted to make sure that I could fit into the cul-de-sacs and the courts of the subdivisions that my business is primarily in, and then also in between the driveways of the residential clients we had. So keep in mind that although longer is sometimes better, don't go too crazy getting a 24-foot trailer thinking you're going to grow into it if your business is all residential. Might not be the best setup for you. Again, when it comes down to enclosed trailers, you got your 3 most popular sizes, your 6.5 by 10s, your 7 by 14s, and your 8.5 by 16s and above. Here's what I want to know. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys feel is the ideal size trailer for an enclosed trailer setup. And in that comment, if you guys want to do me a +1, let me know what kind of equipment is inside that trailer, and that way people can get a better litmus and a better pulse for what can fit in the different size trailers. And by the way, if there's anything you guys would do different, leave that in that comment down below as well. All right, guys, it's Brian here, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys are new, and we'll catch ya on the next one. Bye-bye.